Okay, here we are with Sinkiller versus Nukin for the weekly finals on the 19th of October. Sinkiller and Nukin both undefeated for the night, that's why they're playing. And we've got Nukin playing Jade and Sinkiller playing Solomon. Sinkiller, well known for playing his wild commanders. He plays Solomon and Kayn a lot. And Nukin is playing the what I consider to be the most broken deck right now, which is the Chem Laser Drone Jade deck. And with me I have my boy Jeffrey. How you doing, Jeffrey?
I'm very good, Blade. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for casting, my dude. You are most popular with my viewers.
Well, these decks are pretty interesting. Like you said, we've got the most popular J deck, I would say, on the left, and then Sinkiller running a pretty interesting mirror deck for GDI. Like, he's running Drone Swarm instead of Chems, but then he's got Jump Jets instead of Laser Drones. So I think this is going to be a pretty interesting match. What do you make of these two decks?
Yeah, really interesting. And Sinkiller goes for a rifle Jump Jet Rush and is rewarded with a Harvester kill. Absolutely insane. I can't believe that Nukin didn't stop that. Yeah. Nukin just looked, it didn't look like he didn't think it was going to be a threat because GDI is so bad at rushing. People just forget that there's any unit that can actually rush. And Nukin got super punished for it.
No kidding. Yeah, so Sinkiller's got a pretty good economy advantage right now, and Nukin's not in a good spot. The missile's about to come down. Bike's get on that far left pad there, but Jump Jet's going to go say hello to them and take them out. Orc is going to go after that Harvester. Sinkiller's saying, I've got all the pads I need. I don't care about that. I'm going to go for the Harvester. But actually, it's going to be a bit of an issue here. That single bike will survive against those drones, so he swaps the units around. Good call, but he's not on that third pad. Needs to move the drones down, and doesn't. He loses the first missile to Nukin. Did get the Harvester, but didn't get the missile.
Looks like maybe he did not have enough pads, in fact.
No, he did not.
And yeah, little miss micro from Sinkler there. As we all saw, he should have easily been able to take that. He could have moved on to that pad, killed those chems, and taken it. But I think he just assumed. I think he just didn't realize that his drone storm wasn't there, and he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, Sinkiller does take the first hit, which is really bad against the Jade deck as well, because obviously the Jade deck is so good at finishing off bases. But this is a very choke point map. It's not easy to get a Chem Warrior to the base here, so it's going to be interesting to see if Nukin can pull anything off here.
Well, and right now that doesn't even matter. Nukin so far has good pad control. Sinkiller again pressuring the Harvesters, but he pulls up their Ion Cannon, clearing that middle pad. Nice call. This might be enough to pull him back here. We'll see. The drones go down to that middle pad there. Riflemen coming out from Nukin. Laser drones are going to lose to this Pitbull, so it doesn't look like he's going to take it. And no, he does not. Pulling Sinkiller back into this game. You know, Nukin trying to get a cheeky missile shot off from the Phantom there. It's not going to be quite enough, even with that single cat missile, but we'll see. We'll see, like you said, maybe can he push through these choke points? It's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, really interesting Iron Cannon there. Basically the exact perfect use of iron. Oh, here's another one. Oh, that one's pretty nice as well. That one wasn't as good as the first one. The first one really wasn't a masterclass in how you're supposed to use Iron Cannon, which is just a tempo play. Right. He took out Nukin's units in the middle of the map. Nukin didn't have time to get back there before the missile fired. That's what Iron Cannon is good for. Oh, and Sinkiller going for the block with his Harvester. Doesn't do it. This is very bad for Sinkiller. I don't know if he has time to block these chems. If they make it to the base, that's game over for him.
I think you're right. Yeah, the drone swarm's not going to be able to do it in time, man. It looks like this is game. Oh. But I really like the effort there with the Harvester block. That was really cool to see, and that's something that Sinkiller's really good at, is Harvester management, because you see him pull that Harvester in most of the games I've watched him play. And I think he was about to do that, but then he's like, no, wait a minute, I got to block with this thing. And it almost did, but didn't quite get.
All right, game 2 of Sinkiller versus Nukin. Sinkiller, I think, should have had that last game, but a few throws really hurt him. We're on open prairie now, picked by MacLeod. And Sinkiller back on his beloved Kayn. Nukin going for Liang this time, so not the Jade deck. What do you make of that, Jeffrey?
New objective received.
Well, interesting choice. I think Bork is a pretty good option here, just because of the fact that the pads are relatively close together and they can fly over the rocks. But Sinkiller's got Stealth Tank in his deck, and that's going to be good against most of what Nukin's running, except for Grenadiers and MGs. But it looks like this is kind of like a Bike Rush deck, I think. It's a pretty weird list. MGs don't make a lot of sense to me here, so I'm not really too sure. I think Sinkiller's probably got the better deck, and we'll see if he puts Kayn to good use. I'm surprised he's not running Fanatics with.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by this. I agree with you that Fanatics are really good with Kayn, and I think Nukin's deck is super weird. It looks like he's just going to go no-harv MG, but then why would you play an Orca Bomber if you're no-harving?
Unit ready.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. Well, I think like we're seeing here, he's probably going to he's going to secure this first missile as he is right at the moment. These laser drones should be taken down by the slingshot, and there he does. He moves them out of the way, but the bikes are going to get a volley off and take it out. The MGs will clear the bikes, but nice harvester pull from Sinkiller to get on the pads and install the missile. It's going to allow him to install this missile for just a bit longer, but doesn't really matter. Pitbulls come out to that middle pad and will block those bikes away and give the first missile to Nukin.
I don't understand why Sinkiller has 2 harvesters. His deck is extremely cheap. I guess 2 harvesters so he can spam Kane maybe, but Kane's cooldown is too long to spam. Although I'll be honest, if Sinkiller makes a tower, which he can, close enough to the MG to kill it, I don't see how Nukin comes back from that. Like, his whole deck is built around setting up these cheap MGs. If there's a Kane tower, it just takes one out. That's going to be absolutely savage. There it is.
There it is. So Kane Tower does come down. It will get rid of the MGs in one shot, and it does. They are gone. And Nukin has built a harvester finally, but he did it quite late. He did it at the start of the second missile. I'm not sure that's going to be timely enough. He's still quite a ways from his Borka, so I'm not really too sure what Nukin needs to do. He probably should have built a harvester somewhere in the first missile, not in the second one.
Yeah, and Obelisk does an okay job against the Grens as well. I think Nukin had to commit to the full no-harv on the first missile if he was guaranteed to win it. And then I think he had to build the harvester, so I actually really like how Nukin's played this game. But I agree with you that, like, I think it was awkward timing, but I don't think there was timing that was not awkward, basically. I think he was forced to make an awkwardly timed harvester. So it was awkward, but I don't think that he had a choice. He just had to. Oh, here's the Kane again.
Oh,
this is so brutal.
Well, and Nukin doesn't have the money to build Borka, which is exactly what he needs to come back here. Sinkiller's in a really good spot. The Kane Tower is taking out the MGs. It's going to allow him to get onto that middle pad. There we go. Slingshot's going to go down from the stealth tank. It's about to go down to this Pitbull. Except for the Kane almost misfires on the War Dogs. It should have fired it on the Pitbull there, but it doesn't matter now. He's got all 3 pads, and looks like he's going to comfortably take this, and he does. Now it's a 1-1 game, and, you know, Nukin does have a missile under his belt, so it is possible now that he's got his economy somewhat going, he might be able to come back, but he's continuously building these Grenadiers, which, you know, he does need, but he's not getting to his Borka anytime soon.
Yeah, I think he definitely was misfiring with that Obelisk killing the War Dogs. But it did end up cleaning up all the War Dogs in time. He wouldn't need, I mean, the stealth tank could have done it, and he wouldn't needed to clean up the War Dogs if he had the tower firing somewhere else. But yeah, I think Sinkiller's just double halved to spam Kane towers, because that's all he's doing this game. Well, he sent one of his halves over to suicide, is now dead. His other harvester isn't harvesting, he's moving onto the pads. I think it's a little too early for this. Sinkiller's gonna run out of money.
Yeah. That's a play you make towards the end of the missile, not right there, but we'll see.
Oh,
he's pushing the harvester off the pads.
The
Come on,
aggro
get back on there.
Is he gonna do it? He does! The Hog does it!
And can Sinkiller take it? He does.
Unreal.
He does.
The harvester all the way to the back pad. Absolutely unreal. And Sinkiller does take it. Okay, here we are with game 3 in this best of 3. Sinkiller versus Nukin. We're on open water, picked by Lucasade. This time Sinkiller has decided to go back to Solomon, which makes some sense on open water. Pretty good on open water. Nukin is playing Oksana, so I expect we'll see artillery or Giga Cannon. It is Giga Cannon. Alright, this is fairly predictable. Fnatic Giga is very good on this deck. However, Sinkiller playing Solomon could be the counter to it. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I think so. The 2 decks are good choices from both players. Giga Cannon's going to cover the pads quite well, but then Sinkiller's got really good counters in his deck as well. So it's not going to be a clear victory based on the decks. It's going to come down to, I think, well, can Nukin protect his Giga Cannon, and who's going to get more value out of their units?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to timing on Solomon. I could see that being really important.
Solomon will be important too.
Yeah, like if Sinkiller has enough money to do a well-timed Solomon, right as the missile's about to fire, it's going to clean up the Giga Cannon, because Giga can't. I don't think Giga can get away from an Iron Cannon if it's planted on its face, and then that will win the missile. But yeah, it depends if he can have enough map control, because if Nukin has total map control, it won't matter about an Iron Cannon. But if it's like if Nukin's just holding the middle, Iron Cannon can win the game. So I think Nukin needs to be fairly dominant throughout the whole match if he wants to win this one.
Well, and here comes the first Giga Cannon getting out onto the pads. Doesn't have really any good targets to shoot at just yet. The jump jets are going to come over, but they're going to lose to these Fanatics and go down from the Giga Cannon very quickly. Drone Storms do come out, and they're going to be a great counter to these Fanatics. And nice pull on the Harvester there from Sinkiller. He's going to allow him to take that far right pad, and it looks like he's on all three. So it looks like he takes his first missile. Really nice play from Sinkiller there. Again, his Harvester management is just top-notch.
Yeah.
This is a pro-level play that you should really look at because that is how you win missile.
Sinkiller's Harvester plays have been great. I have to say, Nukin just didn't move his Giga for a long time there. He could have moved it up onto the middle pad and started harassing the Harvester. I don't know if he's lagging or if he just misplayed there, but yeah, pretty big cost to him.
Definitely. Well, and that's the unit he's got to protect the most out of everything in his deck that he's got is the Giga Cannon. So yeah, it was a bit unusual that he wasn't moving it a lot there.
Yeah, I think Sinkiller really on form here. Nukin is quite an inconsistent player, I'd say. Sometimes he plays fantastically, and sometimes he plays kind of not great. And I think that this game, like the Jade, I mean, yeah, I think this game we're seeing some not great Nukin coming out. As we like to say, on Nukin stream, it's Nukin playing rather than his cat.
Well, and it looks like that's the case so far, but he's clawing right back into this game. The double boost
Jesus,
advantage
that double
clears those
boost
drone
is
storms
insane.
super fast. And doesn't opt to go after the other drone storm, instead goes for the pitbull. Pretty good call. Fanatics come out, will block the pitbull there, but double drone storm with Harvester pull from Nukin. So dual Harvester from both players, and so far Sinkiller looks like he's got it. The missiles will clear that Banshee. Actually, yes, so it looks like Fanatics are going to push over, but drone storms do come out, and right now Sinkiller's got it, and he takes it. Yes, he does.
Oh, really well played.
Yes, he does. Wow, what a great game that was.
All right, nicely
Nukin,
played from Sinkiller. And that, of course, means that Sinkiller is the winner of this week's Coliseum. And we will be seeing him, hopefully, assuming he is available, next week for the finals.